And you know what that notification means? It's time for the replay of the LOA Scope with Bob Doyle from... And that's me. Oh, time to adjust the camera angle. Well, hello. Where is everyone? Oh, there's Emily. Oh, it's Lanny Morton. Lanny, hey, Lanny, good to see you, man. Tulips Butterfly Eyes is in the house as well. And, man, a lot of people just jumped on at the same time. And Emily's Rockets. Hold on a second, Emily. I think... One moment. Hey, I said view profile. You know what? Hold on. Sorry, I gotta do this. Emily Hope. Night Owl, narcoleptic out. Anyway, I remember you. All right, so welcome everybody to what day? Lanny, what's up with you, man? It's good to see you. Al Bunique. Wow, where have you been? It is really great to see you as well. All right, so I got to tell you, Deirdre Robin, nice to have you. Thank you for the voice comment. I do a lot of voiceover work. Kind of my favorite. Well, then my day is made. I don't even know that I need to say anything else. I've accomplished my goal. Charmed Mess is here. Phone issues, but you're back. Awesome. Brooklyn Betty is back. Thanks for coming back, you guys. So I got to tell you, I wear these thin optics when I do these scopes so I can read your comments. Thank you very much. It is good to be back. But I have to tell you, Lynn, at Lynn Rose, is starting to tell me I shouldn't wear them. She says I should get some really cool, sexy readers. That this somehow, it's not a good thing. Kristen Nagel, what do y'all think? It's such a, not a me. They just balance on my nose. Well, yes, I have to stay extremely still. No, they got a little spring-loaded clip, and they just stick right there. I can do whatever I want. And they fit in this little thing. So sexy readers, huh? I don't know. I don't know if I can pull off sexy reader. Women, you're so lucky. The nerdier you look, the more sexy people think it is. What is up with that? These give me character? Okay, they look fine. Thanks, Rob. Yeah. Well, see, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Brooklyn Betty. I lose my glasses all the time. But these I never lose because they're always right here. Always. I've never lost them. Well, that's not exactly true. I lost them once for about an hour because they fell out when I was grabbing for them in the middle of the night. Okay. Jay Trivolino has joined the club. This is like my constant idea light bulb. Whenever I sit here, I always have an idea. But I have to admit, thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's new? Well, what isn't new? Look, yeah, so I just got back from Russia, and fine glasses and handsome man, not being paid by Lynn. Yeah, thanks. Melanie, you're like a sim. That's what I said. That's what I said, Emily. It's exactly like a sim. Like I want to walk around and or whatever that language is. For those of us like Emily and I who are in the know about the Sims. Not the Simpsons, by the way. RDB Designs has joined. Thank you. What did I do in Russia? Well, I'll tell you. I went to Russia to speak. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase. Last year I went to Russia and I spoke to this company called Life is Good. They have a really cool, it's like a network marketing type of thing. Really cool thing they do to help people get into housing because of what's the economy over there. Just really cool. Met them last year and did a talk for their leaders and like that. And then so they brought me back along with 4 other of their educational partners just to basically receive an award, which I should have sitting beside me to show you, but I don't. I think it's in the kitchen. First time I haven't done what? What did I do? Or what didn't I do? Anyway, yeah, so I got a Person of the Year award. So really all I had to do was go up there and Melanie and I go way back. Sorry for those of you who aren't in on it. Yeah, so they awarded us Person of the Year. Just we're partners with them to help train them and whatever. So I really just went out there to say 5 minutes and about how great the company was, receive my award, and come back. And as it turned out, I blanked out in the middle of what I was saying. I did a little rehearsal of it because I knew I had 5 minutes. And this place was set up like you would not believe. These ginormous, Jumbotron monitors. I mean, it was flashy. I have video of it somewhere, of a couple of seconds of it. Okay, right, Charmed Mess back in the house. And yeah, I got about 4 or 5 sentences in and my mind went goodbye because it's one of these things where I have to say a couple of lines, and then the translator talks. And nothing breaks my pace more than that. It's tough, because I'm an in the flow type of guy. As you know, if I read a comment, I'm sidetracked, right? So you all know how my brain works. And so imagine being up on stage with like a 5-minute speech that I've just created and trying to remember the flow so I can get through it. And then I say a sentence and then she says it, she translates it. Classic translator excuse. All right, fine. I won't go on about it then. Yeah, so anywho, yeah. Lanny just crapped his pants, so I cannot go on because I've forgotten everything I was going to say. Don't go with the flow. That is speak from my heart. When I go with the flow, it is speaking from my heart. But back then, when I'm in the translator, here comes the classic translator excuse again. It really is hard to be in the flow because I would just talk and talk and talk and talk, but I can't do that. I have to give out a couple of lines, and then I have to wait for her to translate it, and then I have to pick it back up with the same energy and the same. So there's no squirrel. There's no. See, it worked again. Okay. So you're on the way to San Francisco. I was going to be there. The whole entire plan was that I was going to be there. Lynn is coming from Florida. She's in flight right now, I think, to San Francisco, and I was going to be joining her from here today. And in fact, I am staying here. My decision, even though I got amazing. I've never flown Virgin Airlines. I don't like the way that paced out. I've never flown Virgin Airlines, so this was my opportunity to do it. But I've got so much going on with like my certification program rollout, and I just need to be here, and voiceover work too. And I just didn't have the bandwidth for Periscope Summit. And as much as I would have loved to have been there, and as much as I know it's going to hurt me every time I watch Lynn, well, Virgin's supposed to be outstanding. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about them, Melanie. Melanie's here. But I was looking forward to the opportunity, but I just need to be here. The certification program, by the way, we have launched that, and we did the Q&A on it last week, the live Q&A thing that I mentioned. This is about how I certify coaches and speakers and trainers to be certified to teach how I teach. And that replay, yeah, I know. I was looking forward to meeting everybody. Are you kidding me? That was a big, but really when it came down to it, that's really the main reason I was going, is I just wanted to meet the people. Because things like, there's going to be I guess there's going to be talks and a lot of excitement and all of these things. But I'll hear all about it when Lynn comes back, and the stuff that I can use, the stuff that I can use, and the stuff anyway, she's there. She's representing the Bob and Lynn thing, but it would have been fun to meet everybody. Absolutely. We've done a couple of Periscope meetups here in LA, and it is always wonderful to see people. It just bridges that gap. But not this time, I'm afraid. Okay. Yeah, and Melanie, so you're not coming, right, Melanie? Because I'm telling you, if you had come and I didn't go, then I would have been super bummed, because that's a meeting that's just waiting to happen, right? All right. Okay, a London summit, yeah. That would actually be awesome. Lynn and I would be there for sure. I say that. I was also for sure I was going to be in San Francisco. Anyhow, how sidetracked did I get? Like, I derailed on Periscope Summit so much that I have no idea what I was talking about. None. Oh, yeah, the certification. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I know that some of you, I'd have to look at the list. Hey, Juliet, welcome back to the Scope. If you're interested at all in certification, which you may or may not be, go to bobdoylelikesthis.com/replay. bobdoylelikesthis.com/replay, and then you can watch the Q&A webinar. It's really more presentation. I'm just explaining what the Wealth Beyond Reason certification program is, how you stand to benefit, the whole details, how it works, that whole thing. But I probably will be. Well, I know I'll be closing enrollment by the end of January, because we're going to start February 15th. And you know what? I've actually proposed to. No, I didn't. I wrote a proposal to the people in Russia to see if they wanted to get some of their English-speaking leaders in the certification program, because there's I don't know how many of you are in network marketing or have been, but those organizations really tend to embrace like The Secret and the law of attraction, the whole mindset idea, and I've always wanted to get inside a network marketing organization to do some training on these principles. But I also thought, wow, if I could train some of the leaders inside these organizations to basically be me, to have the ability to train their downline, that would be even better. And so that's one of the, I think, so I've been writing all this stuff about, basically proposals to network marketing companies to get some of their folks into the certification program. I waited a little too late to have that idea, though. I probably should have thought about that about 6 months ago. That is how I was introduced to this realm through a really network marketing business. I remember when I did network marketing back in 1995. That was a catastrophe. But one of the first things they were telling me to do was, you filtered, last comment was horrible. Oh, I missed it. Well, I'm going to go back and check the replay, Lane. I'm going to see what you said. One of the first things they said to do was read Think and Grow Rich, which I tried to do, and it just wasn't getting in there. You deleted. Can you delete? Lanny, what's with the teeth in your profile picture? I have a set of teeth that I really love to wear too, but I don't know where they are right now. Okay, so is there a teaching point to this today? Do I have a message, per se, something to ponder? I don't know, because I don't know. But I will tell you kind of what I've been present with. And a lot of it has to do, we've talked a lot about on the scope about like worry and stress and staying present and, what's the answer to life? Oh, hold on, I got it right here. Follow your passion. We just like to hear me speak. Okay, great. Well, here, I will read to you the installation instructions for the Beachbody chin-up bar. I did a self-care scope a little while ago and was telling you that I recommitted to my personal well-being, health and well-being. Lanny, that's the problem with this. They just let the riffraff in here, Yeah, and so one of the things, excuse me, love you too, man. So one of the things I took on was, obviously changing the way I eat and all of that, and I've already lost about 10 pounds since the 2nd of January, since I made this decision. But the other decision I made in terms of exercise was to take on P90X3. Now, before you all go, oh, right, you're going to do that. Let me just tell you that I've done P90X twice, gotten through it, and had results, and I love it. I love it. The problem with P90X, for those of you who don't know, it's a very intense exercise program that you can do at home with a minimal amount of equipment, which is what I like. But P90X, the original, the workouts were like an hour. The yoga one was 90 minutes. And it was just, I just didn't have the time. I didn't mind doing the work. I mean, sometimes I hated it, of course, but it was just the time. But now the P90X3 program is just 30-minute workouts. And so I was watching, I just ordered it a little while ago. It came right before I went to Russia. Just got back, yesterday or the day before. And I haven't had a chance to, set anything up, get ready for it. But I'm preparing to get into it. So I was watching the DVDs or the introductory DVD and then the first one, and I am sore today just from watching it. Yes, it's only 30 minutes, but oh my God. I mean, I'm looking at it going, oh yeah, remembering, because it's been a long time. It's been probably 3 years since I did any kind of an exercise program. Now, for those of you who know my history, fitness is what started this whole journey for me. I used to be uber fit. And then life happened and blah, 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 story, excuse. And now I'm not as fit. And so I'm not really going for extreme results like I always used to, because that was my world back then. Now I just really want to, pull it together. What did I get to eat in Russia? That's a very good question, because not much. I was really watching. I'm tracking all of my progress with a little app and all that. So I'm trying to log everything I'm eating. Well, thank you, Emily. But of course, you only see me from here. You know how people are. You know how those Facebook profile pictures you see? Everybody looks good, and then you see the white, and then you say, oh, that's not what I thought. No, I know, I'm fine, but, it's one of those personal things. You reach your personal threshold, or at least you should. I'm not going to stand up, Jim. Anyway, you reach your personal threshold, and then you just say, nope, no more, I'm done. I'm not going one size more. I'm not doing one more, and then that's when I click in and go. So I'm super clicked in this time. So I'm excited about doing it, but wow. Russian food, thank you. It was like, what I ended up eating was things like, smoked salmon, little pieces of cheese. Let's see, what else? Because there really wasn't much. And then they always have, like, every hotel I stay at has like a breakfast buffet, and the eggs are a little scary, and the sausage is you know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you've ever been to Russia and you've been to like a Russian hotel or whatever. So I've been like 5 times now, maybe 6. And it's always kind of the same. And it's just very different. It's like, wow, this is breakfast. It's like going to the UK and then they give you baked beans for breakfast. What is that about? The food this time around was like on the flight there on the plane, the food was good, but I'm portioning it out, choosing what I'm eating and what I'm not. On the way back, I got to tell you, it was horrible. It was inedible. Everything they served me on the way home. And the flight attendant, she hated me. You know why she hated me? Because I was so whacked from my schedule that I got on the plane before we even took off. Well, after we took off, as soon as I could, I laid back and I went to sleep. And then, of course, they start the service. So I'm that guy who's asleep when they're looking for the orders. So then I wake up when everybody else is finishing, and now I'm ready to eat. And so this, of course, irritates this woman to no end. And she, you can tell. I end up getting a plate of food everything's frozen. I'm not kidding. There was ice on my food. And then I was trying to explain to her what I was really wanting, and then she brought me some sort of a thing with, I don't know, olive paste, if there is such a thing. It was the most disgusting, horrifying. I couldn't believe people eat this. I didn't. Anyway, so I didn't eat much on the way home. So the food experience in Russia this time around was not... The best thing I ate was a club sandwich from room service. And it was actually very good. At something like 1:30 in the morning. Oy, that trip just kills me. No, that wasn't Virgin. That wasn't Virgin. I won't say what airline it was, but you'll probably never take it. So nothing to worry about. Well, normally, Brooklyn Betty, the food on these flights is really good. I really enjoy it. But this time around, not. So it's good to come home and eat my normal food again, for sure. But anyway, so that's one thing I was talking about. The other thing is about really stress and worry. That's one of the things. Hi, Love Life 826. I don't know your name. Let's find out what it is for the sake of everyone. Ava or Eva. Is it Eva or Ava? How are you going to tell me that? If you type your name, it's going to look the same. So you'd have to spell it out phonetically. And Eva, thank you. See, we can communicate one way. It's awesome. Let's see. So one of the things that I've been really with, and we've talked about stress and worry a lot on these scopes, because it's just one of those things that I grew up programmed to be. It's just a worrier. Like, look for the negative before you find the positive. And even though I know everything I know, right, about how things work and what the energetic impact is on that, a lifetime of programming can take some time to readjust, right? It takes a great deal of, wow, you really got to know why. I think that's one of the things that I'm coming around to on this whole stress and worry thing, is because I think I always was up till 6 a.m. overthinking. I'm with you. That has been my life, but I'm getting a handle on it. And I think one of the ways that I'm doing it is understanding what it's costing me to do it and what life can be like. Like, for example, the worry, I'm really getting on a whole new level that worrying solves nothing. Like, your resistance, your worry, your fear, it doesn't change the outcome of the situation. Certainly not for the better. If anything, it's going to make it worse because you're just in vibrational alignment with it and so on, and you're just constantly attracting it. And that's the lens you're looking through. And so there's just something that happened for me, and I don't even know exactly how to explain it, because it was a series of things I did that just really brought me more clarity around the fact that, like, it was habitual to wake up and worry. You know what I'm talking about? Just wake up, your brain just goes, oh, okay, now it's time to worry about the day. It's a very wasteful emotion. It drains your energy completely, and it accomplishes nothing. And I've known that it accomplishes nothing for a very long time, but I think I'm just realizing it in a whole new way. And as a result, I'm able to turn it off. and just be in the moment. And I'm asking myself, hey, Marion, great to have you here. To just be in the moment and ask, what is actually wrong right now in this moment? If you're really present, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong in this moment. But there's so much worry and anticipation about what could go wrong 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, the next day, next week, if something doesn't happen, that's where you are. You're completely not in the present, right? And so you are creating what's wrong in that moment. And you can just as easily choose that nothing's wrong. How do you turn it off? I'm turning it off. And there's just something about this is really knowing that worrying does nothing. Now look, Andy Shaw, who's one of my mentors, has been teaching me that through his books and stuff for a long time. Like, there's no benefit to worry, and I got it on one level. But then there's this other level. All I can say is that there's another level that I got it, that my resistance does not help the problem. So the only way, if there is in fact a problem to be solved, then you're going to solve it in a joyous way by being in the present, when you're open and fully creative and open to all possibility, not when you're sitting there going, these are the terrible things that could happen, right? So much easier said than done, right? So I don't know, but I think there's a lot of things that I'm doing recently that are changing the way that I'm looking at my own life. One of them is, for absolute sure, the self-care thing. Cutting alcohol out of my life completely, watching what I'm eating, and then, of course, knowing that I'm taking on this exercise program. I think just knowing that I've committed to myself in some way helps things a lot, like putting myself first. Hi, Big O-Ho. Big O-Ho. You can't turn off the darkness. It's best to turn on the light. That's nice, Juliet. When faced with worry, remind yourself that this will pass. Yes, that is another way to do it. This too shall pass. The too shall pass. Sometimes that worked for me. Other times it didn't. I think for me, it's just this like, oh wait, I'm totally wasting my time. And since I've become more present with, well, what am I doing right now? What do I want to do right now? And the other things that I'm really getting clear on are the things that I want to eliminate from my life. I'm getting that way about alcohol. You can't meditate or do anything spiritual after a drink. It changes everything. I could do a whole scope just on alcohol, which would be a weird one to do, wouldn't it? What that does, the moment it does anything to your body chemistry, your brain chemistry, it's all bets are off at that point. You're no longer you. You're no longer your essence. Everything the way that you look at the world is completely skewed, even if it's just a little bit. Not to mention all the other. You'd like to hear that scope? Well, maybe I'll do one. That would be a bold, brave one to do. But I think I'm just realizing that since it just changes so much, because wow, I just want to go down this road, but I'm not gonna. Not right now. I'll do a whole other thing. The point is that all of these decisions I've made about my own self-care are helping me to be more present. And I don't tend to spiral into worry as much. My body isn't in a depressed state. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, I could be doing so much better for myself. I know what I'm doing is good for myself. Every action I'm taking is for my betterment right now, when before I was very clear that eating this way or having this second drink or whatever it is isn't helping me. And so that's a conversation going on in my head. And I mentioned this a while back when I was making my pros and cons list about self-care. If I look at my vision, the vision I want to live into in the world, I can't have that vision and treat myself the way I'm doing. If they don't coexist. So this, taking care of myself, is something I have conscious control over. I don't need a miracle. I don't need some sort of weird law of attraction magic to happen. I just make a decision. And in that decision making, I am changing my mindset, I'm changing my energy, I'm changing my body chemistry, I'm changing the way I'm going to process every single thought that comes into my mind. So it's huge. So I'm finding that, I wake up in the morning and my brain still wants to go to worry, and I'm able to just turn it off and be present now. Thank you, Emily. Man, I just wish that for everybody who's a chronic worrier, because it's devastating. Worry just, if you're one of those people, you know what I'm talking about. And it's not, we have to say, okay, well, it's not our fault per se that we're like this. It's just how we were taught. It's just what we saw We've been given every quote unquote reason to worry and even think that that's what you should be doing. That's the thing. I think I was going to try and get to this point earlier, that there's a part of my brain that always said, well, you should worry about this because if because look, it's a worrisome situation. You should worry about it. You'd be irresponsible if you don't worry about it. But that's just the ego. And when you can see that and really get it on a deep level, then you have another choice of how to look at it. I think really all of this started, so you start your day, it's a beautiful morning. Yeah, whatever you can do to get your mindset in the right place. I'm going to tell you about an app that I found, by the way, that I think has really helped me. And it's a meditation app, and there's 8 zillion of them out there. And this one has a lot of paid options, like a subscription thing, which I have not done. I'm just using the free version. And the free version has 2 different basic types of programs. One is for calming, and one is for, oh, come on. Body scan. So it's the name of the app, and I don't know if it's on Android, but it's on iOS. It's called Calm, C-A-L-M. And I like it because I like it for lots of reasons. So there's nice sound effect things in the background. The woman's voice on it isn't irritating. It's nice. They pace it out well. It's not too much it's not over the top. In other words, the delivery of the meditation aspect. You have that app too? Have you subscribed and done any others of the other meditations? Because they have stuff, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, yeah, I really like that. I really like that app. And I'm telling you, I've listened to hours of it. In Russia, when I was trying to go to sleep, it really helped. And when my mind starts to go, I turn that on. Oh, you just use the background music? Well, mine doesn't have background music. It's just background sounds like rain. What's another one? Something in a forest. I don't remember. Anyway, if my mind starts to go somewhere, I just start that app and just focus my attention on that because it's really good about getting yourself present and in your body. And I would just highly recommend it. The Yoga Station on Pandora, that's cool. Yep, Pandora. I stream a lot of music for Pandora to get me calm. Subliminal meditations. I've in the past, Melanie, I've played with subliminal, and I just don't. The jury's out. I haven't used it consistently enough to know whether or not I'm a big firm believer. Years ago, early in the Wealth Beyond Reason program, I interviewed a guy who had some pretty good science around subliminal stuff. And explained, why it wouldn't work or why it did, and then he just vanished. I don't know what happened to the guy, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, just a recommendation. I mean, I know there's tons of meditation apps out there. I've got a bunch of them on my phone, but this is the one I'm going to over and over. So I'm not thrilled about their subscription model. It's like $40 a year or $9.99 a month. I'd rather just buy the meditations or the programs that I want rather than subscribe indefinitely to whatever. Is that it? Calm.com? Let me see. I'm going to go to calm.com and see if I recognize the... That's a really nice close-up, huh? Let me look. Calm.com. Come on. Oh, yes, that's it. Go there. And then you can find it. I really liked it. So now I need to turn this off because it's making noise. Well, we can just leave it going. You probably can't even hear it. But now I've got the sound of like a river flowing and things like that. So, but I guess that was, if it's not Calm, maybe another app. It just, there's just something about, I'm going to turn this on with an intention to change my mindset. Helps rather than just spinning in your head. Give yourself some other place to focus when you start going down that way. And the reason I like, focusing on something like a meditation, which is a calming down, it's not about distracting yourself. It's about bringing yourself back to you. In other words, you wake up in the morning and you're panicked and hello from New Orleans, hello to New Orleans. You wake up and you're going crazy in your mind rather than say, well, I'll just think about something else. How about thinking about nothing? How about just shutting the stuff off and focusing on bringing yourself down into a calm state, because you'll be much more resourceful that way. So that kind of a reset is great. And we all have the technology. I mean, we're sitting here looking at our phones right now. So every one of you can go get something like that and try that, and probably already have, but maybe you could commit to saying, you know what, I'm going to start changing my I don't know, energetic habits or my mental habits. Like because it is a habit to wake up and worry. It's a habit to worry, even if it's not when you first wake up. So how about when that first thought comes in, you say, I'm going to go take care of myself. I'm going to go take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. I'm doing 20, 25 minutes sometimes. And it's really, really helping. So, yeah. There's just a bunch of stuff I've really taken on this year, and not in the resolution thing. I think it's just chanting meditations are great, especially, and I don't do them enough, and I'll tell you why in a second. Something about when you're doing that and the vibration in your body and you're moving, you can feel the vibration, and chanting is great if you can get out of your head about it, and that's my problem. I just get self-conscious about that kind of thing. It takes me a while to get into it. If I was all by myself in a room where I knew that no one could hear me, I'd probably do chanting meditations all the time, but I've got my performance anxiety around, like, oh, I hope no one hears me. So that's just me and my funny stuff, which, yeah, one of these days I'll commit to getting rid of. All right. Not on a plane. Yeah, that would be rude. Seemed like there was some other travel thing I was going to tell you about. Oh, so I watched a lot of movies on the way back. I got my action fix with Agent 47, Hitman, based on the video game. And that was just good fun for me. I'm very easy to please when it comes to movies like that. I just want to, hey, did I have fun? Did I have an adrenaline rush? Was it cool? You know, yes. Watched Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. Also, just a good, fun adrenaline rush. Really enjoy that. And I watched Lucy. Did you all see Lucy? The Scarlett Johansson movie about, using all of your brain. Did anybody see Lucy? Great movie. Yeah, it was fun. Yes, Lucy was so good. I got to tell you, the ending left me a little, oh, come on. I want just a little more than that. I mean, it was fine. Yes, I'll answer that question another time, Melanie. Lucy's good to see. It's just fun, and Scarlett Johansson. It's just, again, adrenaline. There is a lot of it's violent, but not like gory violent. Just your typical Matrix, like I'm kicking ass right now. Get out of my way. I'm a badass. You messed with the wrong person. That kind of violence. So it's all like yeah, that kind of stuff. I do not like gory, bloody movies, but there's a type that, I really don't, because the images get in my head. But these types of movies, like all of those sort of fantastical types of things, it doesn't bother me for some reason. Because they don't go over the top with like making it gross. It's just like, okay, she shot that, but it's whatever. It's a movie. But for Lucy, it's really more the concept. It's the concepts that they're talked about. Kill the baddies. Right, exactly. Very, but it's the concept. And of course, Morgan Freeman. Awesome. So I'll probably watch it again because it's probably one of those movies where you can catch something a little more. But I always leave those types of movies like The Matrix and Lucy and Limitless and all of those movies about our potential. I always leave literally in a very altered state of consciousness. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? It's like your mind has been expanded. And I feel differently. I'm thinking differently. I'm seeing the world through a different lens because of the possibility that's opened up just by exploring these concepts. It's very, it feels good. Like I love to just, after I watched Lucy, I probably sat there just sort of staring straight ahead in the plane for, 15, 20 minutes, just being with what was going on in my brain. It's like, I just really like that. Really like movies that make you think about, and the reason, like The Matrix and Lucy and Limitless, yes, they're all very science fiction-y and they are a fantastical situation, but the concepts behind them and the thoughts that the writers or whatever are wanting you to explore. I haven't seen Mr. Nobody. I don't think I've heard of that. They're valid. They're valid concepts, they're valid things to explore, and they're fun to think about. And I think they give us access to more possibility. I really do. And so I left Lucy feeling, I don't know, just that sort of expanded way. And even just talking about it, I can actually sort of feel it. So I think it's good to kind of watch those types of movies. Clearly like The Secret, for example, which is not science fiction. Leaves people with an expanded sense of possibility as well, like What the Bleep and any of these movies. And there's lots of them out there. You might just go on Netflix and look at some documentaries around the universe and any of these types of concepts, and it just expands you. And you know what it does? I think what's like watching like Lucy, there's a whole sequence where you really get a big picture of things, okay? And it helps you to get some perspective about our lives, our thoughts, our problems, and how big we make them. We are this tiny little speck in the universe. Little. And yet to us, our perspective, the way that our brain processes all of this infinity, we make these things so huge, you know. I'm going to be late to a party. Oh no! Zoom out over the earth, out of the galaxy. That little blip of energy that is your problem about being late to the party that seems so huge to you is nothing. And there's something about getting that kind of perspective that if we can understand that it's nothing, if we can really get, wow, we really are blowing this thing way out of proportion in the big picture. And I think that through the meditating and through just even exploring these types of thoughts, we can kind of tap into the bigness so we can see things in a different way, and we don't have to be ruled by. It's just amazing how we as humans make things so huge in our mind. And maybe as our brain power expands like they do in these movies, you know, now we can see the smallness of these issues and see other possibilities. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the old brain power as science lets us do this. But in the meantime, it's just fun to explore it through movies and whatnot. Okay. Well, this has been fun just kind of hanging out. I like this. I often want to just hang out and just start rambling on like I did today and see. But I was always worried, well, I won't maintain any audience because I'm not saying anything. No one wants to hear me in my stream of consciousness. But 20 of you are here, which is very nice. But now it's time for me to have some breakfast. That's right. I've been waiting because I did voiceover earlier, and it's nothing, and it's also a butterfly who flapped its wings and knocked a cup off the table. You should anytime. Great movie recommendation. Yes, definitely check out Lucy. Thank you, Jim. Okay, well, Mr. Nobody. There you go. So right after this, I'm going online. I'm going to find out what Mr. Nobody... Did you say that it was on Netflix, Emily? I can't remember if you did or not. I saw something about Netflix. If it is, awesome. I'll put it on my list today. And you know what? I'm going to leave you with one more thing. Okay, great. So Mr. Nobody it is. Today, Bob's Movie Club. That would be fun. Go aside watching a movie on Netflix or something, then we all come back and discuss it. That's probably more of a blab thing. I don't know. Take time. So here's the thing. I have this, and I've talked about this before, but the whole idea that as an entrepreneur, you sometimes, I don't know how many of you are entrepreneurs, Melanie, but you know, I got caught in the trap of I just need to be working all the time. I'm an entrepreneur. I need to be innovating. I need to be creating. I need to be marketing. I need to be blah. And I'm so over it. I just can't even tell you. Well, I'm telling you right now. I'm so over it. This whole idea that, like feeling a little bit of guilt for taking some time off or watching a movie. Oh, I should be working. I should be writing this sales. I should be doing something for the certification program. Oh, I really need to write that voiceover course sales page. Blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like I need to spend every waking hour doing it. I mean, I don't. But I feel like I should. Can anyone relate? Let me hear from the business owners. Yeah, and so one of the things I'm doing, and maybe this will help you as well, is yesterday I got up and I made a list, a to-do list, and it's not just a to-do list. If I do all of the things on this list, I'll be fine with the day. So if I do these, I don't need to find another thing to do, right? So like giving myself permission to just complete this list and then feel complete. And so I really gave it some thought, you know, and decided, you know, just made sure I thought of everything so that it's not 6 o'clock in the afternoon and I go, oh no, I really need to do this too. I really thought it out and said, these are the things that are in my mind that if I can just get this done, that's a good work day. And then I can stop. And so I did that yesterday. And by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was done. And it was a weird feeling to feel like, well, then maybe I should just go on to the next thing. At that point, it's a choice, you know, and hopefully if you decide to go on and do work on some other things, it's a choice that's going to make you feel good and not like a burden. Like my position would be, you finish the things on that list, and then you don't do anything else you don't really want to do. If you really want to work on a thing, great. If it's going to bring you joy or whatever, do it. But don't do it because you feel like you should, because you already made your list of what you had to do that day. Now you can just relax. And I got to tell you, it's not that easy. It's weird. Like yesterday when I was finished, I was going, really? 3 o'clock? I mean, I got started early, but, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? So I went to the grocery store and I slow cooked some pork tenderloin and I watched Portlandia. So, anyway, and then got to bed at a reasonable hour. Okay, everyone, I'm going to let you go on with your day. And it was wonderful chatting with all of you. A pleasure to reconnect after, and it's so good to be home. And as I knew it would be, the whole Russia trip is like a dream, like a blink, because like the sleep thing was so weird. I feel like I'm just emerging from a dream that I went to Russia. But anyway, okay, so today is Wednesday, right? I don't know. I don't know what day it is. And that, unfortunately, is true. I don't know what day it is. I just decided I wanted to do a scope, whether it was a scope day or not. I'm putting my thin optics back in their handy-dandy container, so they will be with me whenever I want. Everyone have a wonderful day. I've really been wanting to scope a lot more often, so I may scope on Friday. I may scope tomorrow. I may scope this afternoon. I may pick up a ukulele and scope. I may not, but I may. I've got my to-do list. When it gets knocked out, all bets are off. All right, well, if you're not following me, I certainly hope you are. Drag over and follow. Share, whatevs. If you got anything out of this. This would be kind of a weird one for first-timers, I think, don't you? Because it's like, I didn't even really say who I was or why you should listen to anything I say. I just kind of started talking. But who knows? Artist Weeks, thank you for being here. I'm just about to close up shop, but there is the replay available, and that is the beauty of the technology today. And Jim has invited followers, and they will be able to watch the replay as well. Until the next time, I hope that you all have a wonderful time. Any of you who are going to Periscope Summit, please say hello to everyone for me, and give me some shout-outs or something. If you're not going to Periscope Summit, well, we'll be in the same club, and we'll just be hanging together, all right, with Periscope Summit Envy. But let's not call it envy. We all made decisions. We should feel good about wherever we are. We're here. We're doing what we're doing for a divine reason. Otherwise, it would not be happening. Let's go with that for now, shall we? All right. Enjoy your day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever it is for you. Looking forward to talking to you again really soon.